Let's jump into our fifth and final main topic today. And our fifth and final main topic today gets submitted to us by Shannon DeWayne, who writes, I've heard you mention that you're not a big fan of most Netflix original movies. This is true, although I did just really like The Old Guard. But one of my favorite movies the last few years was their Bird Box flick with Sandra Bullock. Wondering if you saw that they're developing a sequel. I'm really excited because I thought the end of their first one was wide open for another chapter. Do you think they'll get Bullock back or tell the story from another character's point of view? All right, thanks a lot for sending that in. And yeah, Bird Box is every once in a while, there's a movie comes out on Netflix that gets some buzz. And Bird Box was definitely one of those films that Netflix actually did promote and push. We were all aware of it coming out, which isn't normal for a Netflix property, but they promoted it very well. A lot of people were looking forward to it. And you know what? While I didn't love it the way a lot of people loved it, I still thought it was quite good. It's one of those rare original Netflix movies that I go, yeah, I'm glad I saw that. That was pretty good. And you guys, of course, remember how it ended for those of you who've seen it. Anyway, the writer of the original thing, he was asked about the possibility of them doing another one, and he said this. This is Josh Mailerman, who writes, I can't say much, but I can say that it is in development, them doing a sequel to Bird Box. Sometimes it's weird, all this secrecy, but hey, I'm game. So yeah, it does look indeed like they are doing another installment of Bird Box, which honestly, when you look at the history, Rob, of Netflix original films, it's not a great track record. They certainly have some big wins, but they have far more terrible movies than they do wins. When you look at that and you realize Bird Box was definitely one of their wins. That is definitely one of their wins.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's a story that sets up a really interesting world. That whole idea that if you see it, and everybody's walking around blindfold. It's an interesting world and an interesting premise. And really, it didn't end with a lot of what I would call resolution. You know, the movie ends with a lot of stuff still going on. Still a very satisfying ending, though. Really, to me, it's one of those things, considering it's one of its most successful outings, making another one in a world that wide open seems to make common sense. I'll be honest, I'm actually kind of surprised we don't already have a Bird Box 2. Anyway, Rob, you hear about this. What did you think about the first Bird Box, and what do you think about the idea of them following it up and doing another one?
Well, I have to tell you, I bought that book when the book came out because it was before. I knew nothing about that book. It was one of these things that I read the premise on and go, that sounds good, and I read the book and I thought it was interesting, and it surprised me how quickly it actually did get turned into a movie. It wasn't like a book that was written 20 years ago. But I think a lot of people when it first came out, they're like, well, this is just like A Quiet Place. And I thought it was good. I mean, I thought it was really well made, and I did enjoy it for what it was. And it was great central performances, and it was suspenseful and tense, and I got out of it what I wanted. And I thought, yeah, this is really good. And I was hoping. I mean, my whole thing is I read a lot of books, and the fact that an interesting, not necessarily a huge smash of a best-selling book was turned into that kind of a movie. I'm like, I hope more of this happens, because there's a lot of books I have on my bookshelf that I would love to see turned into movies like Bird Box. I mean, I think Netflix, like you said, it's definitely one of their crown jewels of Netflix original films, and I want to see more of it, and I'm all about bring on that sequel. I think it'd be pretty good.
All right, question here is, what did you guys think of Bird Box, and what do you think about them doing a sequel? Do you feel like now they should have just left it alone? Or you like me, where you're like, I'm kind of surprised they haven't done a sequel already? Jump down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, guys.